This evening, we're going to talk a little bit about changing. It is the number one item on our list. I want to know how I can change. I want to know how I can be better in midos, how I can lose anger, how I can get rid of my jealousy, how I can pray, how I can daven better. I want to know, how do I get rid of a bad habit? I want to know, Hashem, how do I change and become the person that I want to be? The truth is, it's very difficult. For an individual to change is something that is near impossible. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter said, it is easier to go through the entire Shas, to learn the entire Talmud, than to change one midah, one characteristic. There is a man, it's reported in the Beis Avraham, there is a man who wanted to be Megayer. He wants to convert to Judaism. So he goes to the Rabbanim in the city, and he tells them, I want to be a ger. I want to convert. The Rabbanim try to push him off. It's difficult. Klal Yisrael, how many persecutions, how much anti-Semitism, and they try to stave him off. No, he's dedicated. He wants to become a Jew. And so what happens, he goes through the year, and he learns, and he experiences. He goes through Pesach, and he learns Shavuos the whole night. Sukkot, he doesn't leave the sukkah for one moment, and he does everything. Finally, after the year, he is ready to become the ger. So they bring him. He comes to the mikvah, which is the culmination of all of his study, and the combination of all of the things that he's gone through. He is standing in the waters of the mikvah. The Beit Din, the rabbinical court, is there to supervise and ask him the last couple of questions before he will tovel and become a Jew. All of a sudden, when they're there, ready for him to go under, he says, wait a minute, Rabotai, just 1 second. They said, what do you mean? Could you wait for about an hour? Could you give me an hour? And they said, what do you mean an hour? I just need an hour, I gotta leave, and after that, I'll come right back. They said to him, well, what do you gotta do? He says, I'm sorry. I remember on my counter in the kitchen, I have a big juicy piece of chazer, a pig. Allow me, I just want to go home, eat it, it's bal tashchit. You can't waste that. It's a averah, it's a sin in the Torah, right? Allow me to go home, I'll eat it, it shouldn't go chas v'shalom into the garbage can. No way. Okay, and then I'll come right back after. He goes out, gets dressed, goes home, never comes back. Says the great Rebbe Avraham, how many times a person says, not right now. I want to do the mitzvah, but not this second. Machar, I'll come back. Machar, I'll begin to learn. Machar, I'm going to lose my animosity. Right now, I'm going to lose my temper. But tomorrow, I'm going to be okay. Just right now, I got to do it. Machar, I'm going to start to learn Musar. I'll start to learn Mesilat Yesharim, the path of the just. I'll start to learn Chavot HaVavot. Tomorrow, I'll be careful. Right now, I'm angry about something that happened, and I got to let out steam, so I call up, hello, you want to listen to Lashon Hara? I thought so. No. Today, Hayom, it's got to be today. What does it say in Tehillim? Hayom, Mashiach Tzidkenu can come today, im bekolo tishma'u, if you listen to the word of Hashem. So this evening, in this wonderful, unbelievable kinus, under the auspices of Chazak, and the wonderful, wonderful people that sponsored this evening, which are, in my estimation, the highest level, to be machzik Torah, to strengthen Torah and to encourage it. There is nothing better. There is no higher level. You know, one time someone came to the Chavetz Chaim, and they were waiting for somebody who was supposed to be a mystic and a magical worker, miracle worker. And the Chafetz Chaim said, today's a desperate generation. Everyone needs Yeshuas. Everyone needs brachos. But you know what the problem is? They think that the bracha is there and it's magic. He says, Heim shochachim. They forget. HaBracha hayoter hagadol, the greatest bracha in the world, is saved for those that are machzik Torah, those that encourage Torah in the world, those that support Torah, those that are inspired and wish to inspire others. I would like to begin this evening with an interesting incident, with something that we read about and we probably have gone over many times, but I'd like to give a little bit of a different twist to it this evening. As we know, we all know, Vayar Yaakov Avinu, Vayira Yaakov Me'od. Yaakov was afraid. He was scared. He was deathly afraid. Why? Because Esav was coming. Esav was coming with 400 men to confront Yaakov Avinu. Hashem said, what are you talking about? Hashem said, I promise you everything is going to be okay. Why was Yaakov Avinu scared? Reb Simcha Zissel, the great tzaddik of Kelm, explains, you know why he was afraid? Even though Yaakov had many miracles, the ladder, Sulam Mutzav Arza, the Malachim, all the things that happened, he passed through the Yarden, the water split, he went on dry land. So why was he afraid? Because he knew the nature. He knew Esav. Esav had a certain nature. It was unchangeable. You could not be makar of him. With all the kiruv organizations in the world, Esav was going to be the most difficult job that Yaakov Avinu ever had. Because of that, he said, no, I'm afraid. I'm going to meet up with such a rasha. I'll meet up with someone so evil like that. There is no way that I can change his heart. That's interesting. An impossibility to change a human being. We could change. Who says that we cannot change? Who says I can't become different? Who says I can't be a better husband, a better wife, a better son, a better daughter? Who said it's impossible? I said it's impossible. We have the koach to rise above everything. A human being has the power to grow so great, they could be on the level that a malach will see a human being and say, I want to say, Shira, this doesn't look like a human being. It looks like somebody who's a malach. It happened. Where do we learn it from? Interesting in the Talmud. One who is born under the mazel of Madim, under the constellation of Madim, will have the teva, the nature to shed blood, to be a shofech dam. That's the nature. That's what he's going to have inside, or her. They will have it inside of them. And therefore, we have to learn, how do they channel it? So the Talmud tells us, the person should become a shochet. He can make a bracha. He has a mitzvah to cover up the dam, kisoy adam. The shochet will provide kosher food for people. Channel it in a good way. Let him become a mohel. Let him go and do brit milah for children and bring them under the covenant. How beautiful it is. Let him or her become a surgeon, a doctor, a rofe. That's unbelievable. That's how it's supposed to be channeled, and that's what the Talmud says. That's how we learn it up. It's difficult for us to understand this. How is it possible? How is it possible that the Torah doesn't say, you have that nature. If you have that nature, then learn Musar. Go to the Beit Midrash, take out Mesilat Yesharim, take out Orchot Tzadikim, Shari Tshuva, make your nature over so you shouldn't want to have that killer instinct to spill blood. Why not? What's the matter with that? Says Reb Simcha Zissel, the Alter, Chazal knew to change one's nature is very difficult. It's a huge challenge for most people. Therefore, the only way to be saved from shvichas damim, from actually spilling blood is to redirect that netiya, that leaning, that propensity to doing what? To doing something of kedusha, shchita, mila, refuah. So sometimes we're learning that what I've got to do with my own self, no matter what my nature is I have to redirect it. There are certain people that have a nature, they're a little bit, let me say a nice word, careful with their money. It's difficult for them. It's hard. They have a little bit kamtsanus. They're stingy a little bit. To get tzedakah from them is like aver minachai. It's a hard one. Okay, it's difficult. Someone asks them, can you please give me money? And they say, well, I tell you the truth, right now I don't have my checkbook, it's at home. Or if they have the checkbook, I don't have the pen. Or if they have the pen, it's the last day of the year, so I really want to wait till next year so I'll have a deduction, so come back tomorrow the next day. No matter what is going to happen, the person's going to say, no, I'm looking for like a tzedakah that needs a lot of money because I never gave tzedakah since I'm little, so I have $2 million ready to give it, but I'm waiting for just the right challenge, the right organization to give it to. Ah, but where does it stem from? Interesting. Let's learn a little bit together the Talmud. Masechta Yuma, Daf Yod Aleph, 11th Daf. A person that has his own house, she'ena rotze lahashil kelav. He doesn't want to give. Knock on the door. Yes, can I help you? Yeah, I would like to borrow your sefer. Can I please borrow? I know that you have that sefer, Pele Yoetz, from Rebbe Eliezer Papo, and I got to read something in there. I got to read it. Can you please lend it to me? The sefer, by the way, is on the top of the shelf. You have to have a ladder to get up to it. It has an inch of protective dust covering that sefer. When the guy says, oh, you want to borrow the sefer? I tell you the truth, I'm sorry, but I'm learning it this evening because I have to look something up. And he doesn't lend it out. So what happens? It's the individual that does not give over their kelim. The person says, do you have Pele Yoetz? No, I don't have it. I mean, I don't have it in my hands. I have it in the house. He says, I don't have it. So what happens? Says in the Talmud that soras comes down, leprosy. Leprosy that goes onto the house, the walls of the house. Interior decorator, you don't got to pay for. It's free. You see the spots in the house? What happens to the house? Anybody, what do they do to the house? You got to knock it down. When you knock it down, everybody sees, oh, I saw you have the sefer Pele Yoetz. You told me you didn't have it. Oh, I saw that you have a lawnmower. You didn't want to lend it to me. Ah, I saw that you have it. Then everybody sees it. Says the Mefarshim, B'tziva kohen ufinu es habayis. They take everything out. Why? Because the individual, if they would have lent, if they would have given out, if they would have changed their nature, when they wanted to say no, they said yes. When somebody asked them for something, and they would have given it up, and they would have changed their nature, how different it would have been. The house wouldn't have gotten saras. It would have never been broken down. They wouldn't go through that embarrassment of what's doing in that person's house. Why did the leprosy go to the person's house? It could have been saved with what? One small Maisa Chesed. All we have to do is work on ourselves. Hashem doesn't say, do the whole thing. If a person is a smoker, Hashem doesn't say, quit. Doesn't say quit. If a person does something wrong on Shabbat, Hashem doesn't say, don't do anything. But at least one cigarette a person could deduct from their daily habit. One time. Can a person change an addiction? Can a person change something that they are addicted to? It's an interesting thing in our world. It's everything addiction. I was in the grocery store the other day. Don't usually go in these places, but I went. And there in a grocery store, it's an interesting thing. I pick up a package, and it says on it, it's some kind of a delicacy, garlic addiction. Garlic addiction. Oh, it's wonderful. Garlic addiction. As if the other things that are not enough addictions, we have a garlic addiction. Can a person break an addiction? That's something difficult to change. I'm addicted to this. I got to do that. I like this. I like that. I can't help it. I turn the thing on. I can't. It's normal by me. When I got to the great Reb Chaim Kanievsky, from those that the entire door is on their shoulders. Hagoin Reb Chaim Kanievsky. From the Gedolei Yisrael, Shemipiem. From their mouths, Onu Chayim, we live. So I asked Reb Chaim. I wrote a book on addictions. I asked Reb Chaim, tell me, Heilige Rebbe, is it possible to get out of an addiction? He told me in Yiddish, I'll translate it. Mit Seichel, if a person uses their mind and intellect, ken men arois kriechen, it is possible to crawl out von dem, from whatever a person is sunk into. Whatever that quicksand is, it doesn't matter. Whether it's thriftiness, whether it's alcohol, whether it's gambling, whether it's something else, whether it's the internet, whether it's the texting, whether it's anything in our world of addictions, a person can get out. Furthermore than that, the great Sefer Likutei Tfilos. It's a Sefer that has Tfilos, Rabbosai, I promise you, you won't even believe there's certain tefillas, certain prayers in here about things. But I just want to say one little one today. The great Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Nosson have a tefillah for a person that feels they may be liking the bottle too much. I will quote to you, V'tizkereni, help me in this world, that everything should be good. That when I use wine, it should be for Kiddush, for Havdalah, for holy things. Help me to know my limits. Help me that when I drink, I should take it within the shear. Help me. I look for you, Yeshua. I want to elevate myself. There's 3 pages just on an individual who wants to stop drinking. That's an amazing thing. Is it possible for a person to change? I tell you, Rabbosai, yes. But we've got to be willing to take the steps. We've got to be willing to say, I can change. I can do it. I don't have to be the way. Oh, I'm an old man. I'm an old lady. I've been doing this 20 years, 40, whatever. It doesn't matter. Chas v'shalom. We're all young. We have 120 years. Every day a person can change their life radically. But you have to believe in the power of change. I can do it. I can become a different person. If I was cheap until now, I could become generous. I could give everything away. There was a Yid I saw in Rabbi Olbaum's shul. It was an amazing thing. My great Rebbe, Reb Simcha Wasserman, walked in. And that Yid saw Reb Simcha. And Reb Simcha, of course, was coming on behalf of the yeshiva Or Elchanan in Israel. The Yid went, took everything that he had out of his pockets. He gave everything, whatever money he had on him. He gave to the great Reb Simcha. That's a person generous. Did he leave himself without money to get home? Probably. That is someone who changes their teva. The great Rabbi Meir Abu Chatzera. Rabbi Meir Abu Chatzera. Very rarely did he go out driving on the road with his driver. One time he had to do it, a dvar mitzvah. And they were driving. Kedarko Bakodesh, he never said a word. He was always very quiet. All of a sudden, they're in the middle of driving, and Rabbi Meir says, wait. He saw a huge truck, a Coca-Cola truck. He says to the driver, please, Nahag, go in the front of the truck and block him. Block him, you must make him stop. The driver says, Slicha Adoni, my great rabbi, please, I can't do it. It's a sakana, it's endangering. I can't do it. Rabbi Meir said, I am telling you, take the car, drive it in front of the Coca-Cola truck, and make sure that he stops. The Nahag says, Slicha Adoni, but he could get very angry if I do that. It could be very upsetting to him. Rabbi Meir said, I am telling you, you can listen to me, emunat chachamim. Believe in what the sages say. The driver didn't have to hear any more than that. He took his car, sped up, right in front of the huge Coca-Cola truck, and He stopped. The guy opens the door of the truck, comes down, begins to give brachot, if you know what I mean, to Rabbi Meir, the driver. He starts to yell at them and says, what do you think you're doing? How could you have such unbelievable arrogance to pull your car in the front and cause all kinds of confusion in the traffic and in danger and everything else? Rabbi Meir sat there. Maver al midotav. Don't say a word. Someone yells, someone screams, someone gets out. You quiet. You don't say anything. Anybody that hears and doesn't say, they've got huge schar, huge reward in this world. He sat. He even was complacent, tranquil. When the driver finished his tirade, Rabbi Meir says, excuse me, sir, I am very, very thirsty. Could you give me a glass of Coca-Cola? How do you like that? The driver cannot take it. A glass of Coca-Cola? You go, you pull in front of the car, you pull the truck, you make me stop, I gotta get out, I'm screaming at you, and you have the hazard to ask me a cup of Coca-Cola? He storms off. He goes into the truck. He drives off. A couple of blocks later, unfortunately, l'tzarenu, he crashes. The driver, in that moment, returned his neshama to the Ginzei Meromim. Rabbi Meir sighed, a deep sigh. Rabbi Meir was very, very downtrodden. He said, Ra'iti et hamalach hamavet, roked al rosho. I saw the malach hamavet dancing around, the angel of death, dancing around on his head. I wanted to save him. I wanted to save him from the mitzvah of tzedakah, of chesed. I wanted to give him a schus. But Nebuch, he didn't want. If an individual would only know what one incident, what one maaseh, what one good deed would do, what one penny tzedakah would do, we would not even stop for 1 second to change. To be mahapech teva, to change our nature. In our heart, many times, a person may know that they are doing wrong. But what does it say in Michta Melio? Michta Melio means, V'yadata hayom. Give it to me, Olenu. Let's go. V'yadata hayom. Excellent. V'ashevosa elevavecha. Know it in your brain. I know what's right. I know what's good. I know what I should do. I know what the emes is. I know it's ethical. I know it's moral. V'yadata hayom. Know it in your brain. But our job is, v'hashevosa elevavecha. Put it into your heart. Put it into your daily routine. Put it into your nature. Make your nature be it. Interesting. The great Rebbe Elimelech of Lezhensk, the great Rebbe Elimelech, unbelievable tzaddik. Rebbe Elimelech of Lezhensk said, if a person wishes to change a midah, if they want to change themselves over what characteristic, if they want to change their teva, their nature, for 40 days, they should go in the exact opposite direction. If they will do it for 40 days, they will be able to change. 40 days, I don't complain. 40 days, I don't get angry. 40 days, I don't get jealous. 40 days, I don't say Lashon Hara. 40 days, maybe I can stop smoking. 40 days, I can have Shalom Bayit. I don't care what happens, I will not say anything. 40 days. I will be careful during tefillah, that I will shut off the cell phone, and I will not even have it on, hint, not even have it on vibrate. Vibrate, that's worse than cell phone. You know, vibrate. Kodosh, kodosh, kodosh. Tuma. No way. 40 days. Do it. 40 days. After the 40 days, it's not so important. After the 40 days, c'est lo chashuv. It won't be the biggest thing in the entire world. 40 days I forced myself. Be a minute early for tefillah, not a minute late. 40 days I forced myself. When I sit down at a seudah, don't forget one halacha, one law, shmirat halashon. How I'm supposed to talk, what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. When I'm asked for a reference, do I talk and start singing like a bird? Or do I remember there are things that I'm mechuyev to say and things that I am not permitted to say? 40 days, a person will be different. 40 days, I will do tshuva. 40 days, instead of 40 days, I'm going to say, wait a minute. Slachlonu avinu, I got one aver in mind right now, 40 days. I want to get rid of it. I know I got it. What does it say? Mishlei. Everyone knows moras nafsho, our own bitterness. Everyone knows what I got to correct. Everybody knows my little thing, my little idiosyncrasy, my little weakness. 40 days, I'm going to be strong. That's what an individual has to say in this world. Says the great Rabbi Elimelech of Lezhensk, if they could do it for 40 days, if it is possible for the individual to do it, they will be zocheh to be able to change their nature. That is something that is a program. And don't just do it like with your head. Make a chart. Make a chart. When I was in the Holy Land, in Yerushalayim, one of the mochrim came over and said, this is a sefer for you, Rav Goldwasser. I said, oh, thank you. I take a look at it. It's like self-improvement. And you got to check the thing. It wasn't such a kavod. And you got to check off every day if you did what you're supposed to. You're working on this, you're working on that. But you got to do it. It's got to be a program. You have to go. You know, people go to the gym, they go the same time, they stay there, got to be a half hour, spin class, bin class, whatever the thing is, right? Oh, it's important. Yeharag val yavor. If that gym is closed on New Year's Day, I don't know what will happen in the world. Chalila. Chalila. Hashem should be mamala the chisroinus of everybody. But what does it mean? You got to do things according to a program. There has to be a program of self-improvement, a program of climbing in ruchnius. I don't want to be the same I was last week. I don't want to be the same that I was last year. I want to be better. I want to be holier. I want to be different. I want to be more altruistic. I want to think about Eretz Yisrael more. I want that Klal Yisrael should have better achdus, and I pray for it, and I daven for it. That's where we have to go to. So the Yalkut Shmoni in Breishis says something fascinating about Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik. Finally he says, Ani Yosef. What did he say afterwards? Ha'od Avichai. Good. Stay up. Ha'od Avichai. Is my father still living? Ani Yosef. The Shvatim. What happened? Very interesting. You would think that the Shvatim said, Oy, Yosef, we don't know how to ask you mechila. Our teeth we're shaking. You're the Shavit. It's unbelievable how bad we treated you. We were going to kill you. We took you. We sold you Archas Yishmaelim. We sold you over to the Arabs. We did all this stuff. We were so bad, and we deceived Yaakov Avinu, and we did all this bad stuff. You would think that they would be crying, begging. They would be flushed with embarrassment. You would think that their comportment was like an Eved that cries in front of the master, that says, Rebbe, please, don't kill me. What did they do? Says Yalkut Shmoni, they wanted to kill him. They didn't have charata. They weren't afraid of him. They wanted to kill Yosef HaTzadik. Hashem sent the Malach Gavriel. Malach Gavriel comes from Shemayim and pushes the Shvatim away from Yosef. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We would think, clearly they would understand they were mistaken in judgment. Clearly they had made a terrible mistake. You would think that by that time reality check came into being, and they understood that they were wrong, and they were good enough, and they could say, Chatasi, Avisi, Pashati. Nothing doing. Let's kill him. We tried to kill him back then. It didn't work. Try again. How do we understand this? How do we know? Because we are matzdik ourselves. What I do, I'm correct, and I can prove to you why I'm right. and I'll give you rayas, and I'll even bring the Torah into it, and I'll explain to you why I'm allowed to do what I'm doing. I once saw a Jew. I was on Fifth Avenue in the city on Shabbat, and there was a Yid that was protesting. Yidden are good protesters. He's protesting, but he's carrying a sign on Shabbos. Come on, come on. Heilige Shabbos, don't carry signs. Do me a favor. Tasila tova, right? He's carrying the sign. So he goes, Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. I said, Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. We're talking for a few minutes. I don't ask him why he's carrying a sign on Shabbat. He doesn't say anything. And we're talking about everything. Ask me, where I davening? I'm going here. Oh, you're going there? Rabbi, what? Oh, very nice. I said, what time does that minyan start? I saw the minyan starts about 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh, and do they have Kiddush afterwards? I said, I hope so. What are we going to tell the guy? Finally, I said to the Yid, maybe you want to come together with me. I said, oh, no, I have a job. I said, what's your job? Mechalel Shabbat. That's your job? No, I didn't say it. I wanted to. I'm careful. I said, tell me, what's your job? I am standing right now for social justice in the world. I am here on behalf of Klal Yisrael, and that's what I'm doing. I said, I know, but it's Shabbos. And you know what the Talmud says? That for Klal Yisrael, you got to keep Shabbos. Ilmole, someone finish it. If only the Jewish people would watch. 2 times Shabbos, miyad hoyu nigalin. We would be redeemed. Says the Aperian ala Torah, even one Shabbat. Everybody, Chazak is going to make a Shabbat campaign. I know it one of these days. They do everything else. In Torah Anytime is going to get it out all over the place. Antarctica and the igloos are going to have the Torah Anytime there. And it's going to say, you Eskimos, you better keep Shabbat, right? So I told him that, oh no, Rabbi, you see, you're going global. That's like the whole, I want to just help some social injustices around the world. What happened at the end? At the end, he took my hand, he kissed it, and he started screaming about his, whatever he's protesting. It's a nebuch. Teach him. Hashem sent me down there. What am I doing on Fifth Avenue in the city in Manhattan on a Shabbat? I had a special reason to be there, of course. But don't doubt me. But why? But why? It was to meet that Yid. And I was sent, and I spoke to him, and we had such a good conversation. But once a person thinks that they're correct, they will never change because they will be matzdik themselves. Says the Heilige Rishner that even the Rasha, al Pesach shel Gehenim, they are taking the Rasha in the Gehenim. They're taking the Rasha. That's it. He's in Gehenim. He's going in the Gehenim. As he's going in, he says, wait a minute, guys, you got the wrong person. It's a mistaken identity. You got the wrong number. Computer glitch. You don't understand. It's not me. It's somebody else. Why? Because we refuse to believe that there is anything wrong with us. Bishrus libi elech. I will go and I'll do what I want. So it's an interesting thing. Horeini Hashem darkecha. We say until him, no, I don't know the way to go. Hashem, show me. Help me. Give me the signals in this world. Give me the symbol that I am able to understand the right way to go and what is the wrong way to go. Hashem Yisbarach gives us a simonim, and nothing's happened. Look at what's going on right now in the Midwest. You look at that devastation and the flooding and the houses submerged, and you take a look at it. And what do I do when I see that morning Hamodia? What do I do? Or the Jewish Press or the Yater or whatever paper, the Yiddish Avort or the Yid, the Satmar paper, I don't care whatever you read. As long as it's got Hebrew letters on it. And what does it say there? It says devastation, and they show you the horrific pictures. I say, Baruch Hashem, I live in the Big Apple. My house is right above, everything great. You're not connecting the dots, Rabbi Isai. That was meant for us. That was meant for us. When you see that picture, you have to take out your Tehillim. And you got to say, Shahamalos mimamakim krasicha Hashem. I call to you, Hashem. I realize that it's for me. It happened over there, but it's meant for me. I escaped. I narrowly escaped. So what do? I got to do tshuva. I got to pray for the geula. I got to know how to be mesaken. I got to fix, I got to rectify that avera. It's an interesting thing how people celebrate graduations, graduation day, what they do. Yearbook, party, celebration, ceremony, walking down, cap and gown, thing with this, tassel on the right side. I don't know all the minhagim. There's probably a sefer there. That before you graduate, it's the right side. After you graduate, it's the left side. All kind of things, the colors of it. They once sent me that I should order a robe with a hat for graduation, for an advanced institution of learning. And I told him, I got my hat already. Got it. It's a Borsalino. Not a problem. Chukasa'akum. Chukasa'akum. What did they celebrate the graduation in the first Beis Yaakov seminary? Sarah Schnerer, Krakow, Poland. How did she celebrate? The girls were there. It was unbelievable learning on the level with a bracha from the Ger Rebbe and from the Chavetz Chaim, Zechet Tzadik Livracha, the Kedoshim. All gave the bracha to that woman, the seamstress from Krakow. It shows what a seamstress can do. How did she celebrate? On the night of graduation, she took the girls. They all went into the yard of the seminary. They all went. She said, join hands. And she sang only one niggin, only one song, the whole night until Alos HaShachar, until the morning. V'taher libenu la'avdecha bemet. And she repeated it over and over. And the Rebbitzin cried tears and tears and tears. And the neighbors all came to watch the Jewish girls. V'taher libenu la'avdecha be'emes. What is our cry? What is our cry today? V'taher libenu la'avdecha be'emes. We need purity. We need cleanliness. We need nikius. We need all the things that Hashem tells us. If you open up the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim or whatever Sefer you like, you'll find a very interesting thing that there are steps that you take. How to get to nikius, to cleanliness, that I know my money is clean, that I didn't take something that doesn't belong to me, that I didn't decide that my landlord didn't give me some heat or whatever, so I'll take off. Or I didn't decide the landlord that I'm going to take a little bit off. Or I didn't decide that although I'm not allowed to do therapy with a child according to the law on New Year's Day because it's a holiday, national holiday. However, what can I do? I missed a lot of days this year, Sukkot, Pesach, so I'm going to do it. No, that money is not clean. That's dirty money. We'll never have a bracha. That everything has to be clean. That my computer is filtered. That the only thing I allow on my computer is Torah anytime. Or maybe one or two other things. The individual that can do that, the person that knows how to do it, you deserve a yasher koach. The individual that knows how to do that, that person is going to be on a higher level altogether. It's not simple. Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon. If you remember, Adam HaRishon, Adam, he had a difficult life. Hashem let him be born in Gan Eden. Gan Eden. Where is a better place to be born? Gan Eden Mikadem. Kisamechucha Yitzircha, Gan Eden Mikadem. He had everything he wanted. Don't have to go to a job, no time clock, no boss, no restrictions, no Obamacare, no problems. Everything that you want, you got, and it is there for the asking. Hashem just said one thing, from the Eitz Hadas, you cannot eat. You cannot eat it from the tree of knowledge. Oh, wonderful. Adam HaRishon. Let's learn about him for a minute. What does it say? Oh, Vayer Hashem lerosa so'ir. A little bit later, when he went to see the city of the Tower of Babel, Migdal Babel, the Tower of Babel, what happened? It says, Asher banu b'nei ha'adam. That was built by b'nei ha'adam. It was built by man. The Mefarshim asks the question. The Torah does not waste one letter, not one word, not 1 second. Why? Ha'adam. Who did I think it was built by? B'nei Chamor? A little donkey built the city. Do I think a little camel built the city? B'nei Adam. Why it has to say B'nei Adam? Why I have to know it's the children of man? Says the Mefarshim. You know what it means, B'nei Adam? It means B'nei Adam Harishon. Adam set into motion the continuum that ended up with the Tower of Babel, where they were going to build the tower up in order to fight with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kavyachol, to fight with Hashem. Can you imagine the level? Oh, very interesting. How did Adam do it? Why is it attributed to Adam Harishon? The reason is because after all that Hashem did for him, gave him birth, gave him Chava, gave him the beautiful Gan Eden where he had everything, all the beauty in the world. We cannot even imagine, we don't even have the smallest hasaga of what it meant to be in Gan Eden. Adam Harishon denied all the good. What did he do? He went to serve Avodah Zarah. He denied Hashem and denied all the good that Hashem wanted to do for him. The Talmud says Hashem came to talk to him. Hashem called him out on it. What did Hashem say? Hashem said, Ayeka, where are you at? And in the Gemara it says, La'ana talev shalcha. Where's your heart? Where's your heart? Is your heart with the davening? Is your heart with the learning? Is your heart with the tzedakah? Is your heart here? Or is your heart somewhere else? Is your heart over there? Oh, where's your heart? Adam Harishon should have said, Chatasi, Hashem, Chatasi. He should have said Tachnun, Rachum Mechanun. He should have said Oshamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Doifi. What did Adam Harishon say? He didn't say that at all. Did he say, I'm sorry? Did he say, oh, it's a problem? No. He began to argue with Hashem. He's called out. The creator of the world is standing in front of him and says, Adam, where are you at? So he says, you want to know where I'm at? I'm going to tell you. What did he say? Listen to these words. Ha'isha asher nasata imadi. It's the woman that you gave me, Hashem. Nasna li min ha'etz va'ochel. That gave me that food, and I ate it. Oh, look at those words. Look at those words. Asher nasata. The one that you gave me, Borei Olam. That is why I erred. That is why I sinned. Now, we cannot imagine what this means. To us, it's very difficult. It's one thing you want to blame your wife. Now, I'm not saying you should blame your wife or your husband. However, it's quite a different thing when you start to blame Hashem. What azus? Why? Adam Harishon couldn't change. He was greater than the Malachim. When he was born, the angels wanted to say Shira to him. They wanted to sing to him. He was greater. But yet, he had hardened his heart. I'm not changing. I want to eat. I'm even going to tell Hashem, I'm going to give all kinds of logic and rationale why I'm allowed to do this Avera. I'm allowed to tell you why I'm allowed to do it. And he'll even tell Hashem himself. That is very difficult. Kol koifer, the Medrash says, whoever denies b'tovaso shel chavero, in the good that his friend does for him, soifai lichvar b'tovaso shel hamakom. The end of it will be that he will even deny in the good of Hashem. What we learn is that a person has to be ready at any given moment to admit, to come clean, to say, I want to change. Every day, a person is created anew. We are not the same. Every day, a person has the power to change. In the morning, when you say, Elokai neshama shenosato bi tahorahi, it is pure. Ato nefachta. You're the one that blew it in to me. Hashem Kavyochel blew into us that air. And as it says in the Sefer Tanya, mida nafach, mida loy nafach. When a person blows out, they blow from their innermost. So what was it? What happened? We have a part of Hashem. And then Hashem asks us a question, and we deny Hashem. How careful an individual has to be to do the right thing. To know that we are here in this world to do mitzvos. That we are here in this world to learn Torah. How unbelievable it is that Chazak made on the evening, Zeh le'uma zeh. Look at Chazak. Look, Ken Ayin Hara, B'rovam Hadas Melech. Borei Olam is looking down right now and saying, Chazak, you know the Kiddush Hashem you make on such a night, how unbelievable it is. Anytime a person has an opportunity to do a mitzvah, do not let it go. Mitzvah b'liyadcha, al tach mitzana. You got a mitzvah that comes to your hand, don't let the next guy have it. Are you out of your mind? Take the mitzvah itself. Jump on the mitzvah, grab the mitzvah. Ayid calls me up. Hello, Rav Goldwasser? Yes. How can I help you? He tells me, they just offered me the mitzvah shiluach hakan. Whoa! Freeing the mother bird, vabanim, tikachlach, and you take the children. That's an unbelievable mitzvah. What is the reward of that mitzvah? Anybody? That's right. Whoa! He says, however, Rav, I got to ask you a shaila. I said, what's a shaila? I don't know if I should do it or not. I said, do it! Run, the bird is only there for a certain amount of time, man. It's going to fly the coop. Go. He says, no, you don't understand. The man that offered me the mitzvah told me that it costs $200. He has to take it. He sets it up. He helps you. He got $200. Take it. It's a bargain. Arichas Yomim. Someone tells you, for $200, I give you Arichas Yomim, 120 years. You got it. You wouldn't pay the $200? The guy comes in insurance. I give you 5 years insurance. It costs you $7,000. Oh, yeah, sure, right away. He tells you Arichas Yomim, Kemo shekatuv b'Torah, and the guy says, $200, I don't know. He says, you really think I should do it, Rav? I said, yes. Okay, puts down the telephone. I said, Mazel and bracha. A week later, he calls me up. Rav, I don't want to belabor the point, but I want to ask you just like one more time. You realize the mitzvah shiluach hakein, he wants to have $200. For $200, you're going to do it, I'll do it. You think I should do it? It's a good deal. I said, it is the best deal I heard of in 20 years. He says, really? I said, yeah, I'm telling you. Do it. Okay, hangs up the phone, Mazel and bracha. A week later, he calls me up. Rav, I want a bracha. I'm getting ready to do it. Mazel tov. It's like getting married. Okay, he's getting ready. He's on the, he's warming up. I said, Mazel and bracha. It should be unbelievable. All the brachas you should have. It should be your special mitzvah. With that mitzvah alone, you'll have olam hazeh, and Bezrat Hashem, you'll have olam haba. Beautiful. About half an hour later, he calls me back. Rav. I said, oh, no, not this guy again. Rav, yes, tell me, what do you want, my son? He says, I got bad news. I said, what is it? Somebody else took the mitzvah. It's not available anymore. How foolish. The $200 that this guy can well afford, that a person can go out in order to eat the steak that was made on the grill with the nut, whatever the thing is, and one little glass of wine, not a big glass of wine, one little glass of wine is going to cost that much money, especially if he takes his Rebbitzin, right? It's going to be that. And he could have had the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKain. We don't realize what a person is missing in this world. Why? Because Yetzer Hara comes and wants to make us blind to all of it. And it speaks about it in many different places. It speaks about it. When we say in the morning, Pokeach Ivrim, opens up the eyes of the blind. Everybody says it. It means, Hashem, give me the power to be able to see the correct ways in this world. Because I don't always see things as they are. It is sometimes an optical illusion. Let me see it the way that it is. Pokeach Ivrim, open my eyes. Let me see the mitzvah Shiluach HaKain like it would be a heap of diamonds, like it would be gold and silver, like it would be the greatest opportunity in the world. Let me see it. Let me understand it. That's Pokeach Ivrim. And so there was a famous Talmud of the great Baal Shem Tov, Schuso Yogen Olenu. His name was Rab Dovid Laikis. Rab Dovid Laikis. Rab Dovid Laikis wanted to go for Yom Kippur, to travel to his great Rebbe, to be there in honor of Yom Kippur with the Baal Shem Tov. Yom Kippur is the Yom HaKadosh. Hagoyin Reb Aaron Kotler said, on the day of Yom Kippur, you go outside and you look up. The sun that shines on Yom Kippur is not the same shine that you're going to see during the rest of the days. On Kippur, there is a different sun. Itzumo shel Yom. You just sit there on Yom Kippur, and there is kapara, and a person is atoned. And so, Reb Dovid Laikis wants to go to his great Rebbe for Yom Kippur. He has to travel to Mezhbish. It's a journey. The journey somehow was jinxed from the beginning. First, he's traveling, it was a terrible storm. Next, the wheel breaks off of the carriage. The next thing that happens, one of the horses tripped and slowed them up. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Each day, it's already 3 days the trip, and something else happens every day. One day the wagon gets stuck in the mud, and they can't even get it out. The third day, it's already in the afternoon. It's getting close to the time. Reb Dovid Laikis is Molei Simcha because the sign says Mezhbish, and he knows he's going to be with the Heilige Baal Shem. In that moment, there were 9 people that were standing in the middle of the road, flagging him down, flagging him down. Reb Dovid Laikis stops, and they said, we have only 9 people for Yom Kippur. We're missing one person. Only one person missing to say Dvorim Shebikdusha, to say Keser Yitnu, to say Yiskadel v'Yiskadesh, to say Baruch Hu, for all the things that they needed. Rebbe, could you please be together with us? Reb Dovid said, I'm sorry. Please don't be upset with me. Don't have any tinus. I'm going to the Baal Shem. I've been on the road 3 days. I went through a lot of obstacles. Finally, after the perilous journey, I'm here. It is extremely important to me to be together with my Heilige Rebbe. I'm sorry, but maybe you could find somebody else. He motions to the wagon to continue. And they go. That night, everyone came to the Heilige Baal Shem. Everyone wanted to have that bracha from the great Rebbe on Yom Kippur. When Reb Dovid Laikis came, the Baal Shem somehow didn't see him. And the crowd kept moving and moving and moving. He couldn't help it, he had to leave. The Baal Shem didn't give him a bracha that night. Motzoi Yom Kippur, after Ne'ilah, he was ready now for his Gemar Tov, his bracha. He's in the line, just as he's about to shake the hand of the Baal Shem Tov and get the bracha, the Baal Shem Tov, as if he didn't see him, goes to the next person in line. Reb Dovid Laikis realized right now, there is no question, the Baal Shem Tov ignored him, did not see him. He was very bothered. At Tzadik Yisod Olam, not to see one of his greatest, not to pay attention to him, not to say a word the whole Yom Kippur before and after, he was very downcast. He stayed Sukkot. On the last day he was going home, he burst in to the office, to the little study of the Baal Shem. And he says to the Baal Shem, Ba'mecha tasi, what did I do wrong? Rebbe, tell me, how did I wrong you? What did I do? The Baal Shem said, Reb Dovid, do you know how many hundreds of years your neshama was waiting to be mashlim a minyan, to complete the minyan, to daven with those 9 people? Dalacha, you should know, Bos la'olam You came to this world, rak bishvil zeh. Mi yodea. Who of us knows what we're here for? Who of us knows what we're supposed to be doing? Who knows when somebody asks us for help, or for a mitzvah, or there's an opportunity, or a person can sit down and learn, or an individual can get rid of a little addiction, or an individual can have a chance to stop Lashon Hara, or an individual can say, tonight I'm making a Kabbalah on myself, that when I say all of the things, Hashivenu and Slachlanu, I'm going to think for 1 second about one Aveirah, or one thing that I'm not doing that I should be doing. I'm just going to think about it for 1 second. That's a Kabbalah. That is a resolution for the new year. That is something that a person can take on. Oh, it's an interesting thing. The Vilna Gaon said, Iker Chiyus Adam, Vilna Gaon, the greatest of the greats. Iker Chiyus Adam. What is the main chiyus? What is our lifeblood? What is our battery? What's our charge? What's our control? What's our power? He says, Lischazek tamid, to constantly strengthen, bishviras hamidos, in breaking detrimental characteristics, personality traits that are negative. Ve'im lav, and if not, lama lo chayim. What's the life for? We are here to become better. Klal Yisrael is the best in the entire world. There isn't so much chesed, there isn't so much Torah in any generation as there is today. It is unbelievable. Yidden are moved. Young people, even the people that are youth at risk, they're precious, every one of them. Each and every one of those children are unbelievable. They're on fire for Yiddishkeit. But they're tumbling inside. They're on fire inside, and they don't know how to express it. A block down from me, there are 4 guys standing out, Erev Shabbos, as I'm walking to shul Friday night. They come over to me. One has a yarmulke, the others don't. Leather jacket, tough-looking guys. Hey, Rabbi. Yeah? Tell me, can you make kiddush over this? They pull out a bottle of beer. I promise you, I never knew that they made bottles that big. Giant bottle. Can you make kiddush over this? I put my arm around the guy. I say, you certainly could, but you need a becher. You need the kos. If you have a cup, then you make kiddush. I invited all of them to come into daven by me. They should come and pray together. They said, no, there's no room there. I said, I tell you what, if there's no room, you sit in my seat. One guy came. You telling me youth at risk? We got to find out how to tap into the youth at risk, because whoever does will see the greatest single koach in this entire world. I promise you. We have to figure out how to get to each and every one, how never to lose a neshama. I don't want to go over time. I do want to go over time, but I won't. Let me finish just with a devar mitzvah. A big idea for us, a great, huge concept this evening is to know one thing. A person should see themselves ba'asher hu sham, as we are today. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what happened. Don't worry about what's in the future. Right now, if you have a hisorurus, if you're inspired, do it. Don't worry about what anybody will say. Azus dikdusha means that I have the power, that I don't care what is going to happen, I'm going to do it. I have a firm resolve, and I'll stand up against the world who will tell me no. And I don't care. I mamish don't care. I was traveling one time in between the border of Serbia and Croatia. And there was in the bus at the border, there were 2 guards that came on. Their guns were drawn. Their full uniform was there. They asked me, passport. They skipped right back to me. I was in the back of the bus. Passport. I gave to them my American passport, and I thought that was going to answer all their questions. He takes the passport. He puts it in his back pocket. He begins to talk to me in Serbian. I couldn't understand what he was saying. He keeps pointing up, keeps pointing on my head, and I couldn't understand what he's saying. Finally, they were getting nervous inside the bus. Everybody was going crazy. I didn't know what they wanted. A guy tells me, he asked, what is the caps on your head? Caps on my head. I said, that's a kippah. What is a kippah? Kippah, it is part of my religion. It reminds me that there is someone above me, that there is someone watching over, there is someone protecting me. Why you wear it now on the bus? You're not in the church. I wanted to tell him if I was in the church, I would have wear it, but I didn't say it. I said to him, I wear it all the time. You wear it when you're in the water? I said, no. At that time, one doesn't need to wear it. I'm giving this guy a shir in Hilchas Yamuka. You know what I mean? He hinted another time, you have to wear that now? I said, I tell you the truth, I never take it off. Never. I don't even know how I had the chutzpah to say it. I said, I was by myself. Never. He walked outside. There was a little booth. I'm not allowed to tell you this, but I have a picture of it. He went into the booth, stayed there for a little while. Only one problem. What's the problem, Rabbi? I said, who's following the story? He has my passport. So I didn't know whether to say, Habibi, how about it, like you got some of mine, I got some of mine. I decided not to say anything. I waited. I must have said 23 kapitlach Tehillim. The guy comes on the bus, walks straight back to me, gives to me my passport. Put it away. Yes, sir. I put it away. Didn't ask another person anything. Hein am levadod yishkon. We are a nation that will dwell alone, no matter how much we think we're me'urav, no matter how much we think we're mekorvin lemalchus. I was in the White House, and I was in the White House. Big deal. Big deal. There's only one house I want to sit in. Which house is that? Shifti! Beveis Hashem kol yemei chayai. Invited to the White House, Hashem, invite me to your house over here in this world for 120 years. That's where I want to be. We have the singular zechus to do a mitzvah, to stand up. We have the singular zechus that when there is a chance that a person can spill out their heart to Hashem, whatever moment that will be, that they can make a kiddush Hashem. Whatever moment that will be, I can cry, and I can pray for someone, and I can give somebody my chance, and I can take my coat off if they're cold, and I can help them with a shidduch if they need one. Because that is the job of us. And when we see little children and there's heartbreak, we try to help them. And when there's a child that needs extra help, we help them. And if I happen to be a teacher, I have something to do with chinuch. I have extra compassion for those children. And I don't worry so much about the grades, Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Daled, Hey, Vav, Zayin. That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing. What an individual has to know is we are here to help everybody. We are here to know the moment, the Shas HaKosher, when we can change our life around, because we never know. Everyone in every day, it may be the minute. Yesh kol olamo, b'shah achat. We don't know if today is the day that I'm supposed to acquire my world. And so, I would like to be Messiah, b'dover tov. I would like to conclude with something very special. In Texas, Shlomo went and he was going into the mikvah on Erev Shabbat. Friday is a special time. A person cleans themselves and purifies themselves and prepares themselves. What a zchus it is to have everything ready in the house. Friday, early, even Thursday night, skula nifla, have everything ready. Not the last second. Okay, we got a light. Come on, let's go. Come on, no blow dry. Okay, shut the light. Set the oven. Turn the freezer. I don't know what. Electric eyes. No. You be ready for Shabbat. It's the queen that's coming, right? The queen from England's coming to your house. You get ready an hour before, I would say, right? Shabbos HaMalka, no less. So what happens? We get all ready. One is a person go to the mikvah. It's great tahara to go to the mikvah on Erev Shabbos. And so he's going into the mikvah. All of a sudden, a huge limo pulls up. Gets out of the huge limo, a tall guy. It's Texas after all. He's got a big cowboy hat on. And this cowboy, he's walking in to the mikvah. Around his neck, he's got a necklace and something on the end, a pendant, something. And he's getting ready to go to the mikvah. And the guy is looking at him. What is this guy doing in the mikvah? He doesn't look Jewish. And he's going to the mikvah on Erev Shabbos. He asks him, Mi ata, who are you? He says, I don't blame you for asking me what I'm doing here. A person goes to the mikvah, usually is Shomer Shabbos. Let me tell you about myself. I was born near Vizhnitz in Europe, near the city of Vizhnitz. We left just a short time before the war. A week before we left, my father took me to the Heilige Vizhnitzer Rebbe, to the great Tzaddik of Vizhnitz. He took us there. Hundreds and hundreds of people were in the room, like this evening. And the room was smaller. And everyone was pushed. And they were ready to start the tish. It was after davening, after tefillah. My father was afraid that maybe I'm going to be crushed. So he put me under the table so that the table will shield over me right next to the place where the great Rabbi was going to sit, the Tzaddik of Vizhnitz. Of course, what happened was the Rabbi came and sat down. He realized that I was there, and he kept an eye on me under the table. He gave to me at the time when they distribute the challah and the fish, he gave to me under the table a piece of challah and fish. I did not understand the Torah that he was saying. I did not understand even a word. However, at one point, the Rebbe got up. The Heilige Vizhnitzer Rebbe, Rebbe Yisrael, got up and began to cry. While he was crying, I understood his words. He said, Yehudim, Jewish people, hakshivu li, listen to me, give me your ears. Lipa'amim, there may be times that a Jew will wish to do a mitzvah, but the Satan will come, the adversary will come, the voice of negativity and cynicism will come, and said, are you crazy? You want to do a mitzvah? You want to do a mitzvah? Who are you fooling? Who are you trying to deceive? I know b'diyuk what you did yesterday. And not only that, I know what your schedule is for tomorrow. The Rebbe screamed out with everything that he had inside of his neshama. Yidden, do me one favor. Jews, each one of you, answer the Satan. Say to the adversary, Bishmi, in my name, say the following. Each one of you, Bebakasha, please, let me alone for 1 minute. It doesn't matter what I did before. It doesn't matter what I'm going to do tomorrow. But right now, I want to be Oved Hashem. I want to serve Hashem. I want to be a loyal servant of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, of the Ribbon Shalom, of the Eibishter, of our Father in heaven. The Vizhnitzer Rebbe put his hand on my head underneath the table. he turned to me and he said, Yeled, Motek, sweet, sweet child, I beg of you, Le'olam, forever, lo tishkach et zeh. Don't forget what I just said. The man in the mikveh finished. You should know, I'm here in Texas. I don't keep the Shabbos, mainly. I also eat on Kippur. Yom Kippur I eat. Sometimes I do fast. It's not nice, it's not na'im for me to tell you that Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is my boss. But from time to time, I have a certain hisorus. I want to do something that is kadosh. I want to do something that's holy. Today, in the afternoon, I got that feeling. I got the hisorus. My heart started to beat. I don't know why. I had the hergish that I had to go to the mikvah. I heard the voice of my Rebbe. And then I heard the voice of the Satan. Meshuggah, you want to go to the mikvah? You want to go in the holy waters? I know what you did. You don't watch Shabbos. You don't care about Shabbos. And you're going to cover Shabbos to the mikvah? Why are you going? But I answered. My words were exactly the words of the Rebbe. For this minute, please leave me alone. It doesn't matter what I did yesterday. It does not matter what I'll do tomorrow. Chazak ve'amatz. Everybody, the greatest hatzlacha to everyone here. Hatzlacha and bracha and ruchniut and gashmiut. Everybody should have everything that they need. Klal Yisrael should have refuah shalem and yeshuas and besuras tavos and parnosim mitzuyah berevach and shalom bayis. In Bez Hashem, we should hear the Pamei Mashiach Tzidkein b'mheirav Yameinu v'nomar